Welcome to part 2 of the Creating a Space Weight Calculator app tutorial using Thunkable. Right now we have our screen 1 and we've got a label up here that explains what gravitational pull is, and we're going to make an animation that shows gravitational pull. We have a play button that will start the animation, a reset button that will reset the animation, and a next button that will go to our next page, which we have not created yet. But for this animation right now, we need the Earth. And if you remember from our video in the last video, we had a stick figure up here that dropped a soccer ball down to the Earth to show gravitational pull. So we need to find a picture of a stick person. So let's go back to our image results. If you already have this tab open and it says labeled for reuse, that means you're good to go to look for a stick figure. You don't have to do the free to use or share or even commercially like we did in the last video. So I'm going to scroll through here and look for someone that looks like they're ready to drop a soccer ball. There's all kinds of stick figures you could use. I think I saw one up here that kind of looks like somebody dropping something. Sure, this looks good. I like this one also because it has a clear background. This is a PNG file. This gray and white checkerboard pattern in the back means that it is a clear background, and so that means I can layer it better. So I'm going to go ahead and call it something I will remember, like stick figure, and I notice it's saving to my downloads folder. And I'm also going to look for my soccer ball. That shouldn't be too hard to find. Just a regular soccer ball will work, and it's clear background, so that's great. I'm saving it, soccer ball, and it's also going to my downloads folder. So now I need to drag over 2 more image sprites in Thunkable, one for the stick person and one for the soccer ball. So let's replace the image placeholder here with the stick person. So I will get him and put him right here. Okay, he's really big, so I'm going to resize him. Maybe I will do 50 pixels by 50 pixels. I'm not sure if he's square shaped or what that will do. That makes the box 50 by 50. That's actually not too bad. I like that. So I'm going to put him right about there. Then I'm going to change this image, image sprite 3. I'm going to change that to be a soccer ball. So that's the file that I downloaded called soccer ball. And I'm going to click OK. This is also going to be really big. See, we can't even see it because it's so big. So I'm going to change this one to maybe 15 pixels by 15 pixels. That looks good. All right, so he's holding the soccer ball right now, but we want it to go to the Earth and stop when it hits the Earth. So we need to figure out how to make this soccer ball move. So for this, we're going to go into blocks. So I'm going to ask you to click on blocks and take a look at these different options here. Explore for a little bit and see if you can figure out what the first step might be. Remember, our goal is making this image sprite 3, move so that it drops and then stops here when this button is pressed. I'm going to pause the video, try to figure out the next step, and then we'll come back shortly. Okay, so we are thinking about what blocks we might need to make this button start the animation, which is we want the soccer ball to fall to the Earth. So let's go in here and see in this area right here we have different buttons. Button 1 is our play button. So when that is clicked, we want this block right here. When button 1 is clicked, we want something to happen to this image sprite, which is image sprite 3 for me. So I'm going to go back into blocks. And I'm going to click on image sprite 3. Now I want to turn him on essentially, so I need to enable him. So that's the very first thing I'm going to do. Set image sprite 3 enabled to true, which means turn him on. All right, so we're enabling image sprite 3 to actually do something. We also need him to move. So let's look in here again, image sprite 3. We want him to move. So let's look for something that is related to movement. All right, set speed to image sprite 3, speed to, let's use a math block here at the very top. We can use this to type any number in that we want. Let's do 9.8 because we know that the gravitational pull is 9.8 meters per second. This is actually referring to millimeters per millisecond. So it's like a mini version of real gravitational pull. So I'm going to do the interval next. So we have how fast it's going to go and then how far it will go in 9.8 milliseconds. So let's go into Image Sprite 3 again, and we want interval this time, and we're going to set Image Sprite 3 interval, which is how far it's going to go in 9.8 milliseconds, to 1. We're going to go 1 pixel every 9.8 milliseconds. All right, so when the play button is clicked, we're going to make the image sprite, we're going to turn it on, and we're going to set it moving. All right, so I want you to test this out. To test out your app, you go up to Test, and you do Thunkable Live, this top one here. If it's gray, you need to select Reset Connection and try again. And then you open the app on your tablet and scan the QR code that shows up. Once you have that, you will see the stuff that you've made so far, and you'll be able to press that play button and see if your soccer ball moves. Let's pause and see what happens. Okay, what happened when you tested your app? Hopefully your soccer ball moved. Did it move in the right direction? That's the question we have. So what happens with the soccer ball is it's probably going left to right now, which means that we haven't told it a direction to head. It's going in 0, it's not turning at all, it's not turning any degrees. It's going 0 degrees, which is straight. If we wanted it to turn 90 degrees, instead of going straight, it would go up, and this is a 90-degree angle right here. So if we said go head in the direction of 90, that would mean 90 degrees. It would turn left and start going up. If we wanted to go in the opposite direction it's going now, that would be 180 degrees. If we wanted it to make a complete circle, it would be 360. With your partner, I want you to figure out what number should we type in for a degree that we should tell our soccer ball to turn, so that he comes all the way around here and starts heading down. Remember, this is 180, this is 90, and if you wanted a full circle, it would be 360. What would down be? Okay, if you said 270, you are correct because that's right in between 180 and 360. So we need to tell our soccer ball to head in the direction that is 270. So let's find Image Sprite 3, and we want heading to 270. So we'll grab a math block, we'll plug it in there, and go ahead and test out your app this time and see if you can get him to go down. All right, so we have our soccer ball moving down, but we need it to stop when it collides with the earth. So we need it to stop right about here in the block section when Image Sprite 3 collides with something, anything. When Image Sprite 3 collides, we want to turn it off. So we can click up here, right-click and duplicate, drag this down and change this to false, and that just means he's done. So you can go ahead and try that and see if he stops when he hits the earth. Okay, hopefully we have the soccer ball falling to the earth and stopping. Now we need this reset button to send the soccer ball back up to its original location. You can see the location is over here on the right-hand side of the screen where it says X and Y. That tells us how far over X and how far down Y this soccer ball is. So when button 2 is clicked, because button 2 is our reset button, we want to move Image Sprite 3 to a specific location. So I'm going to go look at what my location is, 129 for X and 34 for Y, and I'm going to plug those in with math blocks 134, wait, was that it? 134, no, 129 and 34. So I'm going to do 129 and I'm going to do 34, and that should, go ahead and test it out, that should make, when the reset button is clicked, the ball go back to its original location. So test that out, and then we will do the final button. Okay, the last button is this next button. It is button number 3, so we're going to click on button number 3. When button 3 is clicked, we want to control it, and we're going to find open another screen in the control section, and we're going to get a blank text box this time, and we're going to type in the name of our next screen. That is going to be screen 2 when we make it. And I will show you how to make the next screen in the next video.